Hey, listeners. My name is Elisha, the founder of the Witnesses podcast. It's so beautiful to have you listening to our podcast. And I want you to know something that means a whole lot to me. Thank you for tuning in. And one thing I love to tell all of our listeners is it's not just about you listening, but listening to understand. Understanding is the most important thing. So important. So, you have to listen, learn, and practice. Thank you so very much and happy listening. It's nice to have you on the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Nice to meet you, Alicia. Great to be
Yeah,
here.
that's so good. Okay, oftentimes I love to talk about the essence of this show, which is to invite amazing guests like Melissa to come talk to us about their triumphant stories, you know, the challenges that they faced and they overcame it. We invite them to come talk to us about these things because we believe that in our audience, there might be someone who is stuck up in a situation that Melissa came out of triumphantly. So, by that person or people listening to you speak, there might be a piece of information that they would pick and it
I think the
back
recording.
now. Sorry about that. Okay, within the next few minutes, let us get started with your story, the challenges that you faced, and how you overcame them. Then afterwards, I've got some questions for you. Okay, let's get started.
Uh, okay, great. Yeah, the challenge. My story kind of goes. It's not an uncommon story, but I think I kind of experienced a soul awakening. I kind of call it for myself uh, when my parents just happened to they died 10 months from each other, and I think at the same time it was also the first most impactful life passing or death that I had had as a human here for the first time. So when that happened, it led me down a road. I mean, I was already pretty much a seeker and a curious person in life, but it led me down a road of I kind of when that happened, I became quite lost. I would say I didn't know. It was kind of like what it, a lot of the same questions we ask when major life events like this happen. What is the meaning of life? What is my purpose? What am I supposed to do now? The two most pivotal people in my life are no longer here. And it really had me questioning everything, and quite honestly had me in a very confused state. And
Mm,
I felt I kind of just woke up feeling like, who am I? And I felt very lost to myself. So I think that these two major losses, the losing of these two important people in my life, um, made me understand how lost I was to myself, and it really awoken my soul to realizing that I needed to make some major changes in my life that would feel more resonant to who I really was. And so it sent me down a kind of a path where I worked with a coach. I worked with this coach, and it kind of revealed to me that I wasn't maybe in the career that I wanted to be, that I had built for the last 2.5 decades. I wasn't sure how I was living my life in the way that the people I was spending time with. Um, I I was having behaviors that I think were addictive behaviors that I think I had issues with that I wanted to address. So there was just every aspect of my life became some areas that I wanted to question and explore and see if I was living my truth. And so I think that the the immense grief and the immense trauma and the immense life change that the death of my parents created was also kind of an opening and a soul awakening that got me super curious and allowed me the space to make some major life changes that really have me living a much more resonant life than I was living up until that point. So that was kind of the, in a nutshell, the story that brought me to where I was today. Yeah.
Hmm, amazing. Okay, let us get into the very first question. Can you talk to us about the truth of who we are? You get it? Yeah, the
Yeah.
truth of who
Um,
we are.
yeah. Well, I think that, yeah, this is a great topic because when you sit down with people and ask them, because I think what I didn't mention before is that in part of all of my exploring the areas of my life that aren't resonant and working with the coach that I worked with, I realized that like what I wanted to get into was get out of a career that I had built and into working with people on a more spiritual, professional, emotional level and really helping others figure out um, how they can live the most fulfilled life that they can live, helping people when they are also coming out of major life events that have happened to them. They come out of those and sometimes they feel lost to themselves. And so the work that I do with people is journey to self. So I think your question that you're asking is just so important because it's living our truth. I think a lot of times we go through life and for better or for worse, we get conditioned to be whoever our family wants us to be, whoever society wants us to be, whoever, wherever the environments that we've grown up in, what we're told and taught, who we should be in school, in churches, in all these different places that we exist in our lives. We're kind of molded and conditioned and pushed into who we are, and some people don't really listen to the inside of their inner self, their higher self, their soul, their whatever you want to call it, that inner knowing of who they are, what their gifts are, what lights them up, who they should be, and what the world needs from them. We all have these beautiful gifts that we have, but sometimes they're not nurtured, from a young age. And we live in a society where we are taught that we need to go out and work hard, make money. And I live in the West, so I live in North America. And so, I notice when you look at the rest of the world, various different parts of the world have all different sorts of values on what's important. And, I think sometimes what's nurtured is to just, not just, it doesn't matter what you do and what lights you up. Just go and work hard. If you're stressed, it's like, don't worry about it. It's part of what working is all about. And I challenge that. I think that people can find exactly what is right for them and in the kind of work that they want to do, or the kind of people they want to spend their time with, or the kind of ways that they want to help or be of service in the world. And and sometimes we overcomplicate things.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Lisa, you just have to bear with
Correct.
me.
Correct.
This app keeps restarting. Okay, so the other question, you were talking about gift, all right? Let us talk a bit about our purpose. Let's say someone asks you, what is our purpose? What would your response be?
What is our I mean, my response would be our purpose is to be here and to nurture and to learn what I guess to learn what life is about, but we're here to love and to remember, all the inner knowing that our soul has. I mean, we even as a coach, I co-create a space to work with people for them to get back to understanding their intuition and what their soul's resonant is telling them. And my belief is that we co-create with God. You know, we have a soul. We're brought into this incarnation, into this life, and we have this purpose that God has given us, that we know for ourselves, but we have to find it and we have to nurture it. And so I think that the purpose that we are here is just that, is to discover. It's meant to be a life of discovery, and through that discovery is to love yourself and to know what it is that lights you up, and go out. And because when we are lit up, we just naturally bring what the world needs from us. And so I think a lot of times people get caught up in this, they get lost in this, like, must find my purpose. I must find my purpose, and my purpose has to be what my job is and what my in the world. And I think we just have to be curious and discover, what is, where do we light up, what gifts do we have to give, and nurture those and bring those to the world. That's just the most important. Sometimes it might be as simple as just walking down the street, and you just smile at people, and show love and gratitude to people, strangers that pass by, who, you don't know what kind of day they're having. You don't know what just happened to them, but your simple act of kindness or love is enough of a purpose in this world. I mean, maybe you go make a job doing something that brings you money, but your purpose is your beauty and your love and your grace. That could be as simple as all that we need to give in this world. And that's what I mean about overcomplicating. Sometimes it's, the purpose doesn't have to be so big. It can be just being our authentic selves, because each and every one of us are unique. There's no other person here like you. So that can be in and of itself enough of a purpose in this world, is just being your authentic
Mm,
self, not being
mm.
somebody that you're not.
That you're not. Correct. I really love how you are answering those questions, and your words are filled with so much insight, Melissa. Okay, okay, Melissa, one last question. Okay, let's say someone asks you, why do you do the work you do? Why do you do the work you do? What would your response be?
My response would be that I once I understood that feeling of confusion, frustration, lost, overwhelm, and all of the feelings that I was going through when my major life event happened, which was, as I referred to earlier, it was the death of my parents. I got so impassioned and empowered by the work that I did with a coach, and the life changes that I was able to make, and the positive direction that I went coming out of something so difficult, that it became my mission. I just wanted to be of service to other people in this exact same way. So I think it's just, I woke up to myself. And I think that a lot of us go around in life asleep to who we really are. And what I found is that once I finally woke up to myself, I became so empowered to make these changes in my life, that I want to do that for other people. I want to help others do that for themselves. Because the key here is that everybody has the power to do that for themselves. Whether they empower themselves, or they do that in co-creation with their higher power, with God, or what they deem as their higher power, that we all have that ability within ourselves, and we just get in our own way. And it's just, there's such a beautiful relationship about working with somebody to help you see everything that you already know. But sometimes we just get blocked. We get blocked by society and stress and pressures and conditioning from our families and all these different impacts that happen to us. And sometimes it's just the beauty of working with somebody who has no stake in the game is kind of a term. It's like I have no it's like all I don't have to what's the word I'm looking for? It's like I'm a neutral party that can see you and work with you with there's nothing I have to gain in it. It's everything that you have to gain. So there's no way that I can influence you or condition you. It's literally an open canvas for you to get to explore what you and to really see what lights you up and what your gifts are. And it's the most beautiful process, and it's so nurturing that once I went through it, I it became a passion of mine. I went back and I got certified so that I could learn how to do this with other people. So it's just such a powerful experience to be able to do that, that it became the work that I wanted to do. And I really wanted to do something that was in service with people, because I feel that if we can all learn how to live a life that is most in line with who we truly are, it is going to make the whole planet a better place. So it's, so I want to work with individuals and groups in the same way.
Okay. What would you like to say to the audience in conclusion, Melissa? And let's say there is someone who would like to reach out to you. How can that be possible?
Yeah, that would be the easiest way to reach out to me is you can visit my website, and my company is called Wishbone Wellness, and that's Wishbone with a Y, so it's spelled WYSHBON wellness.com, and you can sign up for my newsletter there, and you can I have various freebies that I offer that people can come into. Right now, I'm offering a free workshop that's happening February 13th. And if people want to, and that's an empowerment and learning how to what do you want to say yes to and what you want to say no to in 2024. And that's a 1 hour virtual workshop via Zoom that is 100% free. So in order to enroll into that, you just have to email me at melissa@wishbonewellness.com. And I also have a presence on Instagram, which is wishbone_wellness on Instagram. So you can find me there.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so very much, Melissa. Thank you for your time.
Thank you
That's
so
going to
much,
be the end of
Lisa.
the show. Thank you so very, very much.
Thank you for tuning in to this incredible episode. Your support means the world to us, and we truly value you. We look forward to having you join us for the next episode. If you enjoyed what you heard, please consider rating and reviewing us on Apple Podcasts. Your feedback is greatly appreciated.